Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up this morning, guys. How y'all doing? You know, this is one of those hard days because the end is near. It's Championship Sunday, and of course, our Cowboys have been home for weeks. And it's been that way every year for the last 25 years. And it sucks. It stinks. It's terrible. I don't know how else to put it. It's like being a kid at Christmas, and you go downstairs, and there ain't nothing under the tree. We got 2 games today, and then we got the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. And that's into another season. And if you're not disappointed as a Dallas Cowboy fan, then I don't know what to tell you. But we definitely have to do a lot better. And that process has already begun. You know, we decided, let's go ahead and change defensive coordinators. Let's go in a new direction. Let's figure out what we need and how we get to where we need to be. With the offense that we have, if the Dallas Cowboys re-sign Dak Prescott, and we've seen the whole quarterback carousel where basically there's not really solutions. There's really more hope than anything else, because you're just going to get the same quarterbacks that may be moving to another situation in the same way you have coaches. There'll be a little new blood, of course, with the draft, but the chances are not more than 2 of those guys that are drafted this year will end up being decent quarterbacks. For the most part, it's all selling hope. We at least have a quarterback, and, you know, I know we've got some idiots out there that literally live just to hate on Dak Prescott. One guy literally gets off on making new profiles just so that way he can comment as 3 or 4 different people with hate on Dak. I just don't understand the amount of hate that's out there, but you know what? You do you, because quite frankly, dude, you're helping me, because the more times you comment, the more times you come in as a different person, Google says, what? There's a lot of people watching. Let's move it up so more and more people watch. So shout out to you trolls, because you're definitely helping. So one of the big questions, we have a lot of big questions. You know, the biggest was defensive coordinator. We've already answered that one. We've already made amends for that. We've made changes. Now on defense, there's still a lack of talent. We need a lot of bodies. And some of the guys that are there, you look at and say, should they stay or should they go? And of course, one of those, and this morning was an interesting article about Jaylon Smith. You know, we re-signed him to a contract extension. He's going to be about $10 million a year for us. And he leads the team in tackles. I'll give you that. But you look at it and say, is it really that good for what you're getting? Because there's a lot of times where Jaylon gets carried down the field. I'm not trying to throw shade on Jaylon. Jaylon Smith's story is incredible. The fact that he had that injury with the drop foot, the total reconstruction of the knee, the fact that he's even playing is amazing. But for me, as we're going forward, I look at this and say, you could ask him to take a pay cut. I don't know that he's going to want to take a pay cut. You could cut him, and cutting him would, let me tell you exactly what cutting him would do. Jaylon Smith, looking up here real quick. Jaylon Smith for 2021 is a $9.8 million cap hit, about the same as Tyrone Crawford was last year. If you cut him June 1st, you save $400,000. If you cut him pre-June 1st, you end up having $9,400 in cap dead money. It's $9.8 million if he stays. Now, you could designate him a post-June 1st cut, in which case you would end up having $2.6 million of dead money and have $7.2 million of cap space, which is a bigger chunk. But I will preface it this. When you do that, the problem is you can't use that money until after June 1st if you designated a June 1st cut. You save more money on this year's cap, but you don't get the cap relief immediately, and the Cowboys need relief immediately. Personally, for me, I think you hold on to Jaylon Smith, but you put some curbs in. Because here's the thing that bothered me, and is if you look right here, Jaylon Smith challenged critics to watch the film because literally he said those in the know basically know it's not me, it's the scheme. But I need you to play better. So the first thing I have to get from you is a little bit of humble. You need a slice of humble pie. Jaylon Smith is almost too arrogant. What I actually love, because we were in the same boat with D-Law the first half of the season. D-Law was not playing good. He knew he wasn't playing good. But D-Law looked and said, you know what, I can't point the fingers at the coaching or anybody else. I got to look at me, and I'm playing soft. And he went out and did something about it. Jaylon Smith seems to be in denial on him being a problem. If you don't recognize there's a problem, then you certainly cannot make a solution. You cannot find a solution. You're thinking, I'm okay, I don't need to change, I don't need to do anything. And that's bullshit. That's where anybody on that defense that just went through the abysmal performances that we has to look inside themselves and say, what can I do to turn this around? I can't be satisfied with what was put on the field. The fact that you're going through and saying, look at the film. I've looked at the film. There's a couple of good plays in there, but there's a whole lot that leaves a lot to be desired. So you can't, unfortunately, with the financial commitment, in my mind, just say walk. And especially since we don't have anything really in the kitty. Now, we can draft. We can sign free agents. But right now, you ain't got much. You got Van Der Esch, who's been an injury nightmare. You got Jaylon Smith. You got Joe Thomas. Sean Lee will be retiring. And you can't just say, let's just wipe the whole board clean. Doesn't work. What you do is you put some pressure on him. You put him on notice that, bro, you can be replaced. And maybe where you start looking is in the draft. Micah Parsons, interestingly enough, check that out, went on Instagram. I want to start where I finished. The Penn State linebacker. Woo! It's basically putting it out there. Cowboys, come get me. Come get me. Now, this is the problem for the draft for me. I'll touch on it some more during our live stream. We'll be live streaming the games today, and since the Cowboys aren't playing, we'll have plenty of time to talk about what's going on and stuff. And we'll talk with my man John from DMB Cowboys. The problem is he didn't play in 2020 with a lot of college players, so you're relying on 2019. Now, this may be a double-edged sword, which will be great because there's no wear and tear on that body. That body is fresh, unharmed, and has not gone through battle last year. But you may also look at that and say it may take time to get up to speed. But when you think about in 2019 that he had 109 tackles, 52 solo, 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. That's pretty good as a junior. That's pretty good. And as you watch some of the highlights of him, I'm not going to go through and break him down right now. In fact, I'll let my man John. But the ability that you see with him is really nice. It is really nice. Bam. Look at that. You see him. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Boom. He's filling the hole. He's getting in there, and he is throwing the guy down. Boom. You're not going anywhere. You're not missing that tackle. And that may be what this defense needs. Now, I still, for one, am a defensive line guy. I think you need to get the defensive line in place as well, because we don't focus on defensive tackles or safeties. But you truly do need a linebacker that can play downhill. Ideally, if you have a monster defensive tackle who can get double teams, that means that linebacker is free to roam. And I think more than anything else, to fix Jaylon Smith needs to be on the weak side. He does not need to be the guy calling it. He needs to be able to chase plays. So when you say, do we get rid of Jaylon Smith, I don't think you can just get rid of him. But you try to make him better, and you try and get him to be humble, to be aggressive, to be hungry. Because more than anything else, that's what I don't see from Jaylon Smith right now. I see him doing the head slaps and the swipes and all that stuff, but I don't see him out there being a beast and really, boom, look at that. Oh, God, look. Yeah. But this is a decision that the Cowboys are going to have to make, and it's going to be a hard one because Jaylon Smith, he's the Dallas Cowboys Man of the Year candidate. You know, as Jerry Jones put it, cornerstone piece. The final point I'm going to put in here is I really wish the Cowboys would put away this anointment cream, as Bill Parcells used to say. They're forever trying to make somebody the next Charles Haley, like Randy Gregory. They're trying to make, CeeDee Lamb the next Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, Des Bryant. You're talking about, Jaylon Smith is a cornerstone piece, or, this guy. Stop with that. Stop trying to have them live in the shadows. They need to be able to make their own mark. And before you start comparing them to people that are great, how about they do something first? Because you put this stuff in guys' head that you're great, then of course they're going to say things like, well, the only person I got to satisfy is the owner. Look at the film. I'm fine. It's not me. Stop doing that. Because until we do, we're going to be sitting here every championship Sunday watching somebody else go to the Super Bowl. All right, y'all. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys join in for our live stream. I got some work to do in the shop before the games, but we'll be back about 3 o'clock. Hope to see you guys then. Peace.